It starts with a stick, flashing up out of nowhere, too fast for anyone in the building to track. Contact. For 1 full second, the entire arena goes completely silent, like nobody watching is quite sure what they just saw happen, or what it's about to cost. Nobody in that building knows it yet. But this exact, painful, bloody second is the reason gold is about to change hands. 46 years in the making, decided in an instant nobody planned for. Now jump forward, past the noise, past the doubt, past everything that hasn't happened yet. A net, a flash of gold light, a player dropping to his knees, arms thrown wide open, screaming into the ice with everything he has left. The building erupts into pure chaos. 46 years of waiting just ended in under 2 seconds of ice time, and almost nobody outside that arena understands why yet, or what it actually took to get here. So how does a broken, bloody moment turn into the single most golden one of an entire career, of an entire era? That's exactly what this video exists to decode, law by law. Rewind 46 years to 1980. A team of unproven American college kids beats the supposedly unbeatable Soviet machine in a game the entire world still calls the Miracle on Ice, a story that never really stopped being told. Since that single night, every American hockey generation that followed has carried the same unspoken weight on its shoulders, chase that exact feeling again, and somehow, decade after decade, never quite catch it. Kids who grew up watching that grainy old footage on repeat, over and over on worn-out tape, eventually became the exact players filling out this new Olympic roster decades later, still chasing the same ghost. This generation didn't walk into the tournament as underdogs, hoping for a miracle to happen to them. They arrived expecting to win, and for game after game, they backed that expectation up on the ice in front of everyone. Through the entire preliminary round and into the knockout stage, the United States doesn't lose a single game, not one, against anyone, on any night, under any kind of pressure. But just months earlier, in an international tournament preview everyone in hockey still remembers, this same American roster had lost to this same Canadian rival in overtime in front of the entire world watching. That loss sat with them for the rest of the year, not as failure, but as unfinished business, quietly waiting for a rematch on the biggest stage there is. Now, on February 22nd, the puck finally drops for the gold medal game itself. Same rival, same building pressure, raised even higher than before, with nowhere left to hide. Canada comes out fast, physical, and relentless, a team determined not to let this exact final slip through their fingers twice in the same year. By the third period, the game is still even on the scoreboard, and every single hit is landing a little harder than the one before it, the whole building leaning forward. The clock keeps bleeding down, second by second, with no room left for a mistake. Every single possession now carries the full weight of 46 years of history behind it. Whatever happens in these final frantic minutes will define how this entire tournament, this entire era of American hockey, gets remembered for decades to come. And in the middle of all that pressure, one player is about to become the unwilling center of it, without having any idea what's coming next or what it will mean. But underneath the highlight reel, there's a deeper system quietly at work here. One this channel exists to decode, piece by piece, law by law. Let's break down exactly what carried this team to gold. The first law is mentalism. The mind creates the outcome before the body ever gets a chance to execute it. This roster didn't walk into the tournament hoping to end the drought, wondering if this might finally be their year. They walked in, having already decided it would be. That shift from hoping to deciding is the exact mental blueprint the Hermetic tradition calls mentalism. The belief always arriving first, the result simply following behind it, sooner or later. You can see it in how the team carried itself before the puck even dropped. No hesitation, no apology for wanting the gold badly, out loud, in front of cameras and rivals alike. The second law is correspondence. What happens on the inside always, eventually, shows up on the outside. Months of structured, disciplined, unglamorous practice became a defense that barely cracked, even under Canada's relentless pressure all night. As within, so without. The internal preparation and the external result were never actually two separate stories, just two stages of the exact same one, unfolding on different timelines. Every representative in an empty, quiet practice rink eventually became a save, a block, a clear pass, exactly when it actually mattered, on the loudest stage of all. The third law is vibration. Everything is in motion. Nothing ever truly rests still, not even for a second. As the physical play escalated through the third period, so did the energy inside the building and on the bench. That rising vibration didn't scatter the team or shake their composure apart. It sharpened them instead, pulling their focus tighter with every passing shift, every whistle. You could feel the entire arena's frequency climbing with every hit, every whistle, every line change, building towards something nobody in the building could name yet, but everyone could feel. Then comes the fourth law, polarity, and this is exactly where the story turns on its head without warning. Late in the third period, a high stick catches Jack Hughes across the mouth. He loses parts of two front teeth in an instant. No warning, no time to brace for it. Blood, chaos, a moment that looks, on the surface, like exactly the wrong thing happening at exactly the wrong time. Polarity teaches that everything exists on a single spectrum, not as two separate, unrelated things. And the same raw energy that shows up as pain can flip instantly into pure fuel. He doesn't leave the ice, and he doesn't ask out, even for a shift. He stays, and that one quiet decision quietly resets everything that happens for the rest of the night. The fifth law is rhythm. Everything rises and falls in cycles, including momentum itself, game after game, period after period. This team rode an entire undefeated cycle through the whole tournament, without a single dip that cost them. But rhythm isn't always visible on the scoreboard, or even in the shot clock ticking away. Canada actually outshoots the US by a wide margin in this very final, 42 shots to 28. Rhythm says you don't fight every single dip in the cycle head-on. You ride through it instead, trusting that momentum eventually turns back in your favor, if you hold your position. The sixth law is cause and effect. Every result traces back to one specific, traceable decision. If you know exactly where to look, watch this exact sequence closely. A desperate glove, saved by the goaltender, becomes a clean outlet. Pass up the ice in a single fluid motion. That pass becomes the exact feed for the winning goal, only seconds later. One cause, flowing directly and traceably into the next, and the next after that, until it finally lands unmistakably in the back of the net. The seventh and final law is gender, the balance between structured, logical planning and instinctive, in-the-moment adaptation, working together rather than against each other. A coach's game plan built the underlying structure for the entire tournament. But in the wide open ice of overtime, with no timeouts and no whiteboard, it was pure instinct that actually found the winning play in real time under maximum pressure. Overtime. 3-on-3, wide open ice, almost no room to hide anywhere, and no time left to think, only react, on pure instinct built from years of repetition. Canada pushes first, testing the American defense hard, probing for one more crack in a wall that's held for 59 minutes straight. The goaltender reads it perfectly and shuts the door completely, denying a clean breakaway chance cold, right at the doorstep of the net. The rebound rolls loose along the boards, and in a single instant, the entire play reverses direction, heading back the other way at full speed. A pass finds Jack Hughes alone in open space, the same player who minutes earlier was bleeding on this exact sheet of ice, teeth gone. He shoots. Gold. The goal light explodes red, then washes into gold across the entire arena, reflecting off every sheet of ice, every jersey, every face in the building at once. Hughes turns to celebrate, and the image that freezes in time isn't just the goal itself, it's his toothless, completely unstoppable, unforgettable smile. His teammates crash into him all at once, an entire bench emptying onto the ice in a single wave of gold and white jerseys, sticks flying. Someone drapes a flag around his shoulders without him even asking. He wears it like it weighs absolutely nothing at all, grinning through missing teeth for every camera in the building. The crowd noise doesn't fade or settle back down. It just keeps climbing, gold light pulsing through the entire building for minutes afterward, refusing to quiet down. 46 years after the miracle on ice, on the exact same calendar date, this new team writes its own version of that same story, in its own language of pain and gold. 7 laws. 1 result, working together the entire time without anyone naming them out loud. Mentalism decided it. Correspondence built it. Vibration charged it. Polarity flipped it. Rhythm carried it. Cause and effect delivered it. Gender balanced it. None of these 7 laws needed a single person in that arena to name them out loud or even believe in them consciously to still be true. They were already running the entire night, underneath every shift, every whistle. Now that you've seen exactly how it worked for them, in full detail, from tooth to trophy, where are these same 7 laws already moving quietly in your own life, right now, today? Tell me in the comments below, which one of these 7 laws do you recognize most clearly in your own story this week, in your own version of a broken moment? If this decoded something for you, share it with someone who needs to hear that pain and purpose were never actually opposites, just two stages of the same law. And if you want the next hidden law decoded the moment it drops, subscribe and stay in the light.